Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I'm driving, so you will hear some noise in the background. Please bear with me, as well as I do have a tendency to struggle for words when I speak because of my West Indian dialect. Now, I made a video sometime last week where on the video I was stating that we as so-called black people need to stay out of other people's affairs, especially with what's going on now with the war between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Because I mentioned that we have some evil brothers that's getting involved, not necessarily protesting on behalf of the Israeli, but they're claiming they're making it be known to the Palestinian that land doesn't belong to them, which they're correct about that. But for the most part, we don't need to be worrying about that right now. The land don't belong to us either. Right now, we was kicked out. We was exiled out of that land because of disobedience of the law, statutes, and commandments and the dietary law. So until the Most High gather us from the four corners of the earth and put us back into that land does not belong to us anymore either, because it's defiled by the Gentiles. It's very defiled by the Gentiles. So I don't think he would want to put his holy people into that land at this point. So it was brought out that now these Hamas terrorists, extremists, is pretty much going to be targeting certain cities in Maryland. In other words, let me rephrase that. They said if it was to be a World War III, then let's put it that way. If it was to be a World War III, then there's certain places in America, certain cities in America. One of the cities that I reside in actually was on that list, according to the FBI, right? And I suspect why it is because we have NSA here in Maryland, where they do the spying and shit, right? So they have that over here in Maryland, close to where I live. I'm not even going to give too much of a detail where exactly that is. But if y'all do your research, NSA is located here in Maryland. I live actually in that region, in that area where NSA is, where that facility is. So I guess everything that I was saying was correct, because I was telling you that, these people are not just going to sit down and let America, conduct a proxy war. What a proxy war basically means is that America is actually fighting Palestine through Israel. They're funding and arming Israel to fight the Palestinians. The same way how they did with Ukraine and Russia. They was fighting Russia through Ukraine. This is why they send them billions and billions of dollars in aid in regards to humanitarian. That's their excuse. Oh, we have to support the Ukrainian because Russia, the big bad wolf, is fighting them, and Russia, the big bad wolf, is technologically advanced and have more military means, and we have to back Ukraine. But the reason why Biden is sending all that money to Ukraine is hush money. You know what I'm saying? It's basically hush money for Hunter Biden. But I'll leave that for another video. So when I made that video, I'm sure a lot of y'all didn't agree when I was saying that we need to stay out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why y'all wouldn't agree, because this doesn't have anything to do with us. We got our own wars to fight. We've been fighting wars on a daily basis. We got to worry about white supremacists. We got to worry about them poisoning our water, them poisoning our food, the air that we fucking breathe. You know what I'm saying? Indoctrinating our kids. We got to worry about a lot of things. So why are we going to put ourselves on the front line for a country such as Palestine that we have nothing to do with? The Arabs over there was the same one that was responsible for our enslavement. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I have humility and compassion for those people? Absolutely, I do. Because when I've seen the videos of the slaughter of the people, because see, they don't show that shit on mainstream news. They don't show it on Fox News. They don't show it on CNN. You got to go like on like Al Jazeera or one of these other, world news outlet, because America is going to sink. They're not going to show the devastation of the Palestinian, because they know that they're allies with Israel, right? But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel compassion towards a group of people, but for me, I'm not getting involved, because this shit ain't. We didn't start a war with these people. These people have been fighting for. Do you know the Palestinian and the Israel and the so-called Israelis, right? They're the same fucking people. They are the same people. Turkish people. Most of them are Turkish. They're the same people. They just decided to choose a different religion. It's the same people. It's the same fucking people, family. I kid you not. It's just like the North Korean and the South Korean. They're the same people. They're on the same landmass, same exact people. It's just that some decide to stay in North Korea, some decide to stay in South Korea, and then they start fighting. Because this is what these reptilians do, right? These snake people, reptilians. These are who's ruling our world. These are not humans that are ruling our world. They feed off of our fear. They feed off of war. They feed off of pain. These are like energy vampires, family. I'm telling you, y'all don't understand. That's why they always showing, people getting killed. It's like they're a bloodthirsty entity. These are reptilian shapeshifters that rule our government. Their agenda is to literally annihilate the human beings. I'm talking about the real, original Aboriginal people of this planet, black people, right? But they're going to take them, the casualty out, the hybrids out with them. With us, I should say. You know what I mean? So now you got all this threat. You got China and Russia coming up, talking about, if there was a scenario with World War III, how it would get started. It's like every time you turn on the damn news now, they talking about World War III, and it was prophesied in the Bible, right? Of course, you see it in Revelation, but that was plagiarized from the book of Daniel, like the prophecy of Daniel and all these other books in the Old Testament, right? That there was going to be wars and rumors of war, but they put in the New Testament to solidify. So when it comes to this, see, Revelation, the New Testament is legit. No, they stole all this prophecy. They plagiarized this shit from the Old Testament. Okay. So now they're talking about World War III. It's going to happen. The Most High is getting ready to deliver his people. But before he can do that, he have to let their kingdom literally fall, crumble. And how that's going to happen? Through warfare. And a lot of us is going to get caught up. I'm sure I'm going to be caught up into it too. But just remember something, right? This meat suit that we have called a body, it's just a vessel. It's just a means of transportation. So when he deliver us, because judgment has to be brought upon this planet for all the wickedness that we have done, even us, the so-called Hebrew Israelite, have done. We're going to have to be punished for it, but in the end, we're going to be redeemed. We're going to be delivered, right? I suspect that he is going to deliver a lot of his people from out of this situation before that time should come, right? He's going to deliver us, and I don't know where he's going to put us, but we're going back into the wilderness. We're going back into the wilderness, and that's why we need to get ourselves ready. You know what I'm saying? Both spiritually and mentally ready for what's to come. Because if they do decide to throw some nukes this way, we're all going to be affected by the shit. Right? But I believe before that happens, he's going to deliver the righteous Yashalites, Israelites, right? Not the so-called Jewish people. I'm talking about the real people that come from tribes. So again, family, we just have to realize that this is not our fight. We need to stay out of it, because you don't want a target on your back. These people are all over our communities. They're all over our communities. We don't know when they're going to rise up. We don't know when these sleeper cells are going to start to awake. I suspect they're starting to awake right now, because they're seeing what's happening over there in Palestine, and they're not agreeing with America, because America is the one that's helping Israel to fight these people, claiming they're trying to defeat Hamas. No, y'all using them as a boogeyman. Y'all using them as a proxy, because what's happening is that the same way how they created ISIS, right? ISIS, the Israelis, ISIS is basically the Israeli Special Force Intelligence Service. That's what the fuck ISIS was. The ISIS people were none other than the Israelis pretending to be radical Islam. Because one thing with Muslims do not kill other Muslims. They don't. And that's how I knew that it was the Israelis behind this shit. Because when they captured a couple of them, they heard them trying to talk, what they call Arabic, but you could hear the Yiddish in the shit. That's how they knew that they was behind it. So, again, family, we got these people in our community. We don't need these people to turn against us, all right? They're literally in our backyard. Literally. I like to use that word a lot. Literally in our backyard. So, therefore, we don't need to be trying to side with other nations and shit, or turning against other nations. Let them fight their wars. Let them deal with each other, because that doesn't have anything to do with the Most High. If the Most High wanted the shit to stop, he would intervene. But it's continuing for a reason, because he's ready to bring these kingdoms to their knees so we can have next. All right? So to stay out of it is not our fight. And with that, I say shalom.